in 2006, when I get out, I have this goal in mind. I'm like, you know what? I had an older homie that started a clothing line. He was semi-successful with it, and I saw that. I wanted to emulate it. I'm like, you know, let me start making shirts, hoodies, hats, doing all this stuff, right? See where it goes. So I'm going to like hip hop clothing stores. I'm going to skate shops, you know, just people in the area or whatever, getting my clothes into their stores, and they're cool. Yeah, you can put it here on consignment, whatever. We'll sell it, you know, take a little cut. So it was cool. But when the recession hit, nobody was taking on new brands. So I was able to maneuver a little bit. I'm not sure that I mentioned it. So I had the opiate addiction. Well, when I got out, I was clean for about a year. I started dabbling in the oxys, and I started taking a liking to that. So I decided I'm going to put myself into rehab. It wasn't court ordered or anything. I just needed clarity of thought. It was just one of those things. More or less, I felt like this was holding me back from taking my game to another level. And, you know, as f***ed up as that is, bro.
That's some G shit.
You know?
So you wanted to get clean off opiates so you could improve your opiate dealing.
So I could
fire.
You know, a lot of people are like, I'm getting clean to get out of the life. Well, I wanted to get clean to get deeper in. You know what I mean?
Doubt.
So that was how up my mentality was. Like, this is where we're going with it. So I look into rehabs. I find one in Tijuana. One of my dudes had actually gone there. He linked me up with it. You know, most rehabs at that time were like 20 racks or something like that. This one was like 12. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going out of the country and it's 12. Like, let's roll, you know? He didn't tell me what it was about, though. I go down there and it's like in Tijuana. It's in like Playa del Tia. It's in a mansion, you know, right around Tijuana, up in the hills. And they sit me down on this bed and they're like, watch this DVD or whatever. So I watch it and it's like this ceremony in Africa. These they're eating this root of this plant and like tripping out and falling over and shit. I'm like, what the is going on here? And like, yeah, this is ibogaine. Like, you're gonna have visions. It's a psychotropic, but it's gonna clean you out while you're under this like psychosis, and like, you know, it's gonna be a great experience. I'm like, let's roll, you know, like, see where this goes, you know? I'm just a dumbass. Like, what the you know, my phones aren't working. I'm like thinking, well, they might steal my kidneys while I'm under, you know what I mean? I might wake up in a bathtub of ice, but let's roll, you know? So I do that. I get clean. But while I'm at the rehab, one of my dudes sends me this song, and he's like, hey, you got to check this artist out. Check this song out, right? So I listened to this song, and it's about getting clean from opiates. It's this artist. His name's Haystack. So I'm like, damn, that's fire. Like, I like that song. So I start looking into more of his music. I'm like, damn, he's got some shit, you know? So I look him up on social media. This is after like 2 days of tripping. You know, I'm trying to like, you know, I don't even know what the reality and what fantasy is at this point. I'm trying to unscramble my brain, but I'm on social media trying to come up with my next business deal, you know? I'm like thinking in my head, like, okay, if I can get this artist to do some shows for me, I can get him to wear my clothes, I can set up a merch booth, I can sell clothes at these concerts. You know, that's the move. That's what I'm gonna do, right? So I get out of the rehab, I contact his people, I call, it was a crazy situation. You know, he had a 13-year-old kid running all of his social media shit and his booking shit, but I call, his name is Snap. Yeah, I mean, he actually owns a artist management company. He does real well now. I mean, he's older and shit, but he's just a, you know, 13-year-old kid at the time. I'm like, yeah, I want a ticket on 3 shows. He's like, oh, what do you have? What's your idea? Like, what's your plan? What do you mean? I'm like, well, I'm trying to do Utah. I'm trying to do Vegas. I'm trying to do Idaho. He's like, okay, cool. Let me call you back. So like 10 minutes later, I get a call, and it's the artist. I can tell because he has a real distinct voice. It's like scratchy, you know? So I know it's him. It's Haystack. I'm like, what's up? We start chopping it up. I'm like, this is my idea. This is what's going on. And, he kind of laughs or whatever. Not sure how serious he took me, but he gives me a good ticket on 3 shows. So I do the 3 shows, but when I'm doing these shows, I have a lot of people that are hitting me up like, hey, let me open for Haystack, like over here. Then I get involved, I get involved in like a concert with The Game, then like Paul Wall. And so like I have all these things and people are coming to me like, let me open for these artists. So of course, me being me, I'm thinking, damn, how am I going to profit off of that? I'm like, okay, I'm going to start my own label. Because if one of these artists pops because he's opening for these shows or something, I need to get some of that money too. So I get the label going. At the time, Stack's leaving his label. I'm buying up studio equipment, thinking I'm going to open a studio, I'm going to do all this shit. And he's like, well, let's just come together and work on a project. You know, me and you, I'm leaving my label. You're starting your own label. Said, all right, I'm going to come out to Nashville. I'm going to talk to you. We'll figure it out. You know, we'll sit down and chop it up and see what we can do.
And are you moving pills at this time?
Yeah, I'm still in the streets.
You're in the streets, but you're clean.
Right.
Okay.
So, I'm on hyperdrive.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm whatever I can do.
Yeah.
I'm out there. So I get out to Nashville. We come to terms on a deal. It's like a 3-album deal. No, at the time, it's just the 1. So we do the double disc album. So I'm going back and forth, going to studios out there in Nashville with him, going back to Vegas, still running around in the streets and shit, but I'm making this music now with him. That album is released in September of 2010. So I sign a distribution contract with a company out of Memphis. So they do all the distribution. They release it. At that time, it's hard copies. It's a totally different game. Mm-hmm. The digital shit was just barely coming into fruition. So, my contract, I lucked up because the digital shit was really non-existent. And the part that I got paid for the digital shit was nice in the contract because they never really counted on that lasting. Now everything's digital. But so I lucked up on that contract with them. But we ended up doing that project and then coming to terms on 2 more. But me and him develop a relationship. Like, this is my guy. He's my son's godfather. Like, when my son's born a few years later. But those albums, they've never come out yet. So the 2 albums that I'm still owed are unreleased. Whether or not I get those, we'll see. Only time will tell. It's a situation with him that I hate to be the guy to be like, bruh, if the roles were changed, you would have walked out of prison and had your shit. I would have made sure you were getting money 8 ways if you sat in there for 14 years. Everybody's built different. So I had an OG tell me in prison, you can't expect everybody to react or act the same way as you because not everybody is you.
That's it.
So don't hold everybody to the same standard. If things come your way, it's a blessing. But at the end of the day, like, you have to keep pushing forward. You just do you.